If you're not starting your own business because you're afraid of failure, because you hear all about, oh, 9 out of 10 businesses fail and I don't want to be a failure, man, then that means if you're going to use that kind of logic, you shouldn't get married. Because that's wrong data you're hearing, and you have to get the right data. Like here, American Psychological Association, okay, they have data that shows 40 to 50% of the marriages fail. That's right, 50% of the marriages are going belly up, and that's the first marriages. Well, second marriages even higher percentage, third marriages even higher percentages than that. But for business, it's about the same. 50% of the businesses have failed. That's from the Small Business Administration. So 50% of the businesses fail within like 5 years. So why are you getting married so easily when you're so afraid to start a business? Because there's a fear of failure. It's just stupid how our mind plays tricks on us, doesn't it? And we just don't act rationally so many times. We think we're rational, but we're really not. And that's why data helps. It gives you a slap on the head. What the hell am I worried about that for? I used to worry about failure so much in starting a business, and then my first 2 businesses failed. Then I found out, God, nobody really cared. I used to think that, if I failed, people would point at me going down the street and want a big F on my forehead, and let's go, so failure. And everyone's so involved in their own life, man. They don't really care what happens to you, and you're just stopping yourself from growing. That's the problem, is that, doing something you want to do, you're going to grow the most in this life. And I think that's what they're here to do. And I think for finding a mate, it's the same thing. Like we want to start a business, and we have the spreadsheet, we're going to do in starting a business or whatever, and all this check off and everything. Man, but do we do that with a mate? No, we follow our heart, right? We know that's going to be, we try, the brain does kick in once in a while, but it's our heart that makes the decision. See, and I think for a business to last too, that's what it is. You got to use the heart. The heart. Use the heart. That's why things fail. You're not using your heart, because that's what's going to keep you there to get over whether it's in an individual relationship. We're all screwed up to live with, right? We all have weird habits and everything. We're difficult for anybody who doesn't really know us well enough to live with. And that's why, boy, if you have something bigger or your heart's involved in this relationship, you will stay there through the problems. Same with the business. People give up so early. You go, oh, one little wrong thing and they're out of there. But if your heart, you want to be there. This is your life. This is what you want to do more than anything else. That's the way to get through. And you only have a 50% failure. So you start again. Like my marriage, I started again. That's what life's about, particularly in America now. You can start again. Nobody cares if you fail. And you just go out and do it again. And actual statistics, even in I went to Center for Disease Control and found, like in 2012, the latest data, 2 million marriages and about 900,000 failed. Wow, 2 million marriages, new ones. I was 900,000. Gave up and got divorced. So that's what life is all about, and you're not going to grow. I mean, that's why it took me 2 failing marriages to realize it takes as much work in a relationship as it does to start a business. This isn't something you just can do with one hand on the side and on the weekends, man. This takes effort in life, and so does your professional life. And now I think more than ever you can, God, get something and start something yourself with little or no money. And so if it doesn't work out, you go and get another job you hate. There's plenty of those, and you have more opportunities to grow and even make more money by doing it yourself, because that's where the world is going. Secure jobs, working for a Fortune 500 company or whatever for 30 years, they're over. So if you want security, really, you have to do this nowadays. And even, so we choose a marriage partner with some blasé about it and get married when we have a 50% of failing, and we choose a business, well, oh, I don't think I do because I'm afraid to fail. We don't do that. And it's the same percentage as when you choose a partner, or when you choose a business. So why don't you take the same risk and do it? Sure, there's no sure things in life, yeah. So nobody can guarantee anything. But if you don't try, certainly nothing's going to happen at all. And also, I saw interesting data about why businesses fail. Intuit did a nice little study about why small businesses went out of business. This is during the years 2008 to 2015. So like the last 7 years, you know, this is through the bad economy and everything. So the 58 failures they had, only 20, well, they had about 200 businesses and about 50 failed. So about 25% of the businesses failed, not 50%, only 25. But here's the reason, see? They're legitimate. They're not really failures, a lot of them. 4 failed because of external economic conditions. Okay, that's understandable. You know, the economy goes up and down, somebody goes, other people don't. 1 failed because of a lawsuit. So maybe he was an idiot, right? Another closed because of new legislation made it impossible for them to continue selling the product. 12 closed simply because the owners moved on. They wanted to do something else. You know, 7 closed because the business, they changed the name of the business. Same business. Is that failing? I don't think so. Or even moving on to do something else. Is that failing? Oh, I don't think so. 12 closed because of poor management. Okay, that's probably a failure or something. 2 closed because their projects were completed. Maybe they were just in business to do this project or whatever. That was it. And 10 closed because they couldn't determine the reasons. But that's the whole thing in life, man. We put roadblocks in our head, you know, that aren't real, you know, and the reality, the world's big out there, and we don't even understand it all. So we make up these little rules of thumb, you know, because I heard somewhere, well, actually, one of the presidential candidates said 9 out of 10 businesses fail. That's bullshit, you know. I don't know where oh, it must be right if somebody on television said that, you know. No, I mean, and that's implanted in our subconscious. Well, I'm never going to be that stupid and do something where 9 out of 10 fail. I really have to be motivated and think I'm going to cure cancer or something. No, you just have to be the same kind of schmuck who will get married to start a business. That's all the talent you need. So if you have enough talent to decide to get married, you got enough talent to decide to start a business. I don't know how anybody understands what's going on in Washington, you know, because when it runs out of money, you know, all it says is start the presses. They just seem to print more, and that's happened now with small business money. You know, what happened is that the end of the government's year ends September 30th, so we got about 2 more months. But they ran out of money for small business loans. They reached their quota already. Actually, they're giving out more money, like 20% more this year than last year. More and more small businesses are applying for money, and they ran out of what they budgeted for. So they're going to give them, you know, and actually it's passing in Congress right now. They have to pass a law to give them another, you know, $2 billion. Actually, it's going to be like $4 or $5 billion. They're giving them more for a total of $23.5 billion in loans to small business. It's good, you know, more than in like the last 5-10 years or whatever, you know, that they're giving out this year. So that's why, you know, you should be aware of all these business money. It's easier to get a business loan from the government. Actually, it's a guaranteed loan. They don't give money directly. They go to the bank, and then you fill out the paperwork, and the government says, well, if you don't pay, they'll pay it for you. So that's why the bank doesn't care. You know, they're going to get paid no matter what the hell happens to you. You know, and actually, the default rate on loans, particularly for franchises, if you go to bigdatalesco.com, actually, if you're looking for a loan, that's where they're. But let me tell you one other thing about the data first. They have a big data. You go to the SBA.gov website and get this data that shows you how they give out the money. See, actually, on the money that stopped, they have about 900 applications in the queue now that they ran out of money. So as soon as the money comes back in, they're going to get all those people money, the 900, and anybody else applies for the next 2 months. So they got to make quota. They're going to have a lot of money there to give out. So to me, it would be an opportunity to get some of this extra $2 billion they're giving out, because everybody thought they'd run out, but they're not. Congress is going to give them more, you know, and that should pass the next day or two. But also, what they didn't stop giving out is express money and the veterans money. And you know, there's a special money just for spouses of veterans. to get money for a business. Spouses, not just veterans, you're a spouse, you're married to a veteran, that's available. And also real estate loans and microloans. Microloans up to $50,000. That hasn't stopped. So all the money hasn't stopped. One of the big major program has stopped, but they're going to have more money, a couple $billion more. So in the next 2 months, there's going to be money for all. But look how it's broken down a lot. This data is interesting because it of the like $19 billion that are given out, almost $4 billion is given to Asian Americans, and $11 billion is given to white folks by minority are applying. So I mean, Indians, Black, Eskimos, Hispanic, they're almost getting nothing, man. So you should apply for this thing. Also by gender, there's only women-owned that own 50% or less get 17% of the money. Women owned that is 50% or more get 13% of the money. Guys, 70% of the money. So guys are starting maybe 50 to 60% of the businesses, but getting 70% of the money. Veterans are getting 5% of the money. And also what's neat, existing businesses versus new businesses. About 1/3 of the money goes to new businesses, 2/3 of the money gets existing business. So that's when people say, oh, it's only for existing businesses. Nonsense. Here, billions and billions of dollars going to new businesses. And also in urban areas, that's a growth area too. I mean, rural areas out in the country, a lot. Most goes to the rural, but also urban areas. That's a thing that should be realized. Some special money just that people in small towns. So this money coming out, and you can see on BigDaddyLesco.com. Look for, a lot of people say that you need an accountant and all that. You don't need all these special experts to do this, to help you get that money. If you go to BigDaddyLesco.com, maps, M-A-P, just map, singular, BigDaddyLesco.com, map, M-A-P. You see on the left-hand side there, there's organizations that will help you. So if you just click on those organizations, like if you're a veteran, or if you're a woman, or the small bit, all those, you just click there, and those people help you for free fill out the application. Or actually, if you go to Udemy.com, this is our courses. We have a course there, and so go to Udemy.com and search under Lesko, and you see the courses we have. We have one on getting a small business loan. I tell you about the tricks and how to use the government to the most, and you don't need these experts and things like that. So either way, to get this money. But it's there whether you use it or not, and more is coming out than they even thought they would give away. See, that's why when people say, oh, there's budget cuts in the States, so why should I apply for money? No. And actually, well, I won't be qualified for a loan. Try. This is why it's there. These loans are for people who can't get it elsewhere. So if you had trouble with the bank before, man, try one of these suckers. It don't hurt to apply, particularly if it's free. Those people that guarantee the Social Security of your bank accounts and Social Security number and all that, and they charge you like up to $30 a month to do that. I'm not sure what they're really doing. But anyway, they just got sued a couple years ago, about $12 million for not protecting the information that they have, or for lying how good they are at protecting it. So they had to pay $12 million to the FTC about that. Now the FTC's had them again. They said they're still doing some of that stuff. That's amazing. The companies that are saying they're going to protect you, they can't even protect themselves. That's how big this is. Another thing that occurs to me, man, you see all these hackers hacking into government databases and everything. Man, they're not going to hack into your personal database if you have the information, but if somebody like LifeLock has 1 million, boy, it's worth trying to figure out how to hack that, isn't it? So you should see this if you're a member of a company like this, or one of these kinds of programs, these protection of your identity protection stuff, because there's really just a limited stuff they could do, and they're promising they tell you right away, and they probably can't. Actually, your bank even has services, or people that have that financial information about it, they have stuff that will give you for free. It's the same kind of thing. So check all that first, and if you have complaints against any of these kinds of people doing it, call the FTC, because the FTC won't investigate until somebody bitches about it. Hey, I got screwed. That's when they go in. They get enough of those. Oh, this looks like a pattern. This guy's ripping people off, and we'll investigate. Now, how else are you going to get cops on the beat until you tell somebody about it so they know what the problem is. And that's why people say, I'm not going to complain, so they're out for $50, I'll just let. No, if you don't complain, you can't stop them doing it to other people. So that's why you go to ftc.gov/complaints. So any kind of complaints like that, it has a list of any kind of scams you got, you don't think they're doing what they say and things like that. That's where you do that. And, stop the system. If you don't need the money yourself, you don't mind being ripped off, what about the rest of us? We should know about it. And that's the way to let other people know, so they don't get screwed. Did I say screwed or screwed? You know what I mean. Would you choose an arranged marriage? No, probably not. God, it seems like even in the countries where they're very popular, people aren't happy doing that. They'd rather get a marriage from their hearts, right? That's the thing. Well, then why do we choose arranged jobs in this country? Now, a job you're going to spend half your wake life, with, and maybe half, or maybe a third, actually 8 hours a day, a third of your life working in a job, and a third of your life with your family or loved one or whatever, and you wouldn't choose that third, with your loved one as an arranged marriage, but we seem to choose an arranged jobs. Your parents said, oh, you should be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever. And what if somebody who grew up in the country, 10, 20 years ago, man, nothing that worked 20 years ago is working in the future anyway. You can't. And how do you know if you're really fit for that or not? But no, we'll do that, won't we? We'll take, or our friends, our friends say, oh, you should be this, you should be, we'll go to some expert who don't even care about our life, but we give them money and they tell us what to do. Man, would you do that for a marriage? Giving money to somebody to, oh, should I marry this person, right? I'm going to spend the rest of my life with them. Well, how about your career? That's what you should be doing. It's choosing a career from you, from the inside. What does your heart say about your career? See, that's why I think your heart is smarter than your head. That's why we choose jobs, with our head only, and they're arranged jobs, and that's why we're miserable. That's why so many people are miserable. They're in their jobs because they're arranged. Somebody else told them they should be doing this, and they struggle. Oh, I'll stay here like a bad marriage. Oh, I'll stay here as long as I can stick it out, whatever. Wow, what a lousy way to live. So don't make your job like an arranged marriage. Get something that you could feel from the heart. You can make money at so many things now in the country, and find something that is really in your heart, so you don't have to live like it's an arranged job or an arranged marriage or anything. Live with your heart and grow as much as you can every day. Young people are figuring out the new economy a lot faster than us old farts are, right? Watch this interview, because there's a young man who went to school like everybody told him to do, and followed, got a good degree in political science and all that kind of stuff, and then he went out and got an internship in political science and a potential job, and he hated it, man. He didn't know what to do. So he turned to the internet and crowdfunding. Now look what he did. He was trying to think, okay, what's a kind of gadget I could maybe think of, and he just walking around and he carried a bunch of keys. He said, see these keys like this? Oh, how do we get something that they don't jiggle around like this? So he went online and he went to China or somewhere, Alibaba, looking for real little paper thin magnets you could put on keys and so they all clang together and they never jiggle around. So he said, that's a product. So he orders them from this company in China, wherever the heck they were, puts them in a package, puts them on the internet, got $30,000 in 2 weeks. Wow! How long would it take him to make that as a poli-sci major, even with a government job? 2 weeks, $30,000. See, this is what our economy's coming to. Anybody now with a decent idea or whatever has a way to get that idea out without having any money. So it costs them $100 or $200 or whatever at the most, couple $100, put the whole thing together, whatever. I mean, it's still a fraction of the tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars that we needed at one time in this country in order to start businesses, You need next to nothing nowadays, and it's just learning how to use the internet. And so you don't know how to use the internet. That's okay, you can figure it out. Actually, I was just talking, I'm going to interview a guy soon now who shows you how your local library will help you figure out how to set up a store on the internet for you.
So you don't have to hire some consultant. You don't have to spend money on somebody to do it for you. Go to a local library, go on the internet, and the people there will actually help you. I mean, I got an interview with one of these librarians who do this. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. See, there's just no excuses. Actually, the excuse is we're just too lazy, most of us. It's hard to do something, especially you don't know anything about. It's easier to do the stuff you know about, like eating potato chips or whatever it is. Oh, it's fun to do the other stuff. And it's so much easier now in the world than ever before. I mean, I feel it's easier now, you know, than since like the start of the Industrial Revolution to start a business. It's never been easier as it is now. So watch this young man, just out of college, hated his job, $30,000 in 2 weeks. Watch it. And it's key magnets, and you're the guy everybody hated coming down the hallway at school because your keys made so much noise in your pocket. And you thought you would graduate with your poli-sci degree and go become a diplomat or foreign service, some job. And now here you are instead on Kickstarter, and you raised $30,000 in 2 weeks. It'd take you 2 years to get that kind of money working for the government. Yeah. Wow. And it's really just little magnets that you stick to your keys, and they don't make noise ever anywhere. Yeah. And everybody's loving this stuff. Wow. So you ever going to look for a poli-sci job again?
Probably not.
Well, maybe when you make gazillion dollars with these little anti-key jigglers, you can become an appointed ambassador somewhere. You know how those rich guys get ambassadorships to Bahamas or something, the Bahama Islands, or and then you can fulfill your parents' dreams.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. I mean, and so you're just a year or two out of college, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You had a couple of job internships and fooling around trying to get regular jobs, and said, "What? This shit ain't for me," or what?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. But why keys? Why do you? And by the way, that video you have on Kickstarter is terrific, man. Are you a videographer also, or what?
Me and my friends, like that's what we like to do. We like to make fun videos.
Wow. Who's the voice? That's what I want to know.
We like to keep that ambiguous, you know.
Ah, I see. Yeah, it's a great voice. I mean, this is an old-time broadcaster. It sounds like the Legend of Sleepy Hollow or something, you know. Once in a world, you know, or something. Yeah. But that's all it is his voice, and you see those keys and the magic of those little magnets that you put on the keys, and your problem is solved forever, isn't it? Yeah. Why didn't anybody think of that before you?
That's what I'm saying. Like, why did no one else think of it?
Yeah.
I did a quick Google search, and I was like, I don't see this product anywhere. Okay, I'm gonna make it.
No kidding, that was it. And then, are you an engineer? Is that how you knew about this stuff, or what?
Not by training. I'm not an engineer by training. I'm more of an inventor, I guess. And, you don't really need a degree for that. So.
I see. You're just a curious mind.
Yeah.
And you found out the magnet stuff? I mean, I guess you didn't grow up knowing what magnets, how they worked and all that kind of stuff. You just figured it out and made a product and got it made. And
yeah. Basically. Just played with magnets. I ordered a bunch off of Amazon, and I played with them and put them on my keys. And then after I kind of figured out a process that worked, I reached out to some manufacturers, and then it took a while, but then eventually I was able to kind of get it to where I wanted it to be.
Yeah. Wow. And about how much upfront money? Did you have to get investors to kick in at the beginning, or whatever? Did you need $5,000, $10,000, or something like that?
No, it only took me about $2,000 to get everything started.
Really?
To set up the website, to set up, to get some prototypes in, so that we had a product we could film, to set up, kind of line up manufacturing to make sure that it that it would go smoothly once we got the funding campaigns in. So yeah, it only took me about $5,000 or $2,000 to get.
Oh, well, that's not bad. So you're financing yourself through your Asian fusion restaurant, or?
Yeah, my partner bought me out and left me with a little bit of cash, and so I took that and reinvested it into this business.
Wow. So you and a buddy had a restaurant near the university where you both graduated, right? Right after you graduate? Because you just like the girls on campus? That's why you want to hang around, or what?
Basically. All the sorority sisters. You know?
What college was this?
We went to UCLA.
Oh, really? Wow. Oh, and you're going down to speak about crowdfunding now, you said.
Yeah.
Wow. A star graduate coming back.
Flying us out this weekend, me and the other two brothers that I work with.
Wonderful. Yeah. So what do you think about jobs in America nowadays then?
I think if you get your 9 to 5, I guess for me it's just kind of crazy, you know, like where the system feeds us into this kind of path, like you were saying, kind of a prearranged job where, you know, I can become either an attorney, a doctor, an engineer, or some kind of guy that works in tech. You know,
right.
Pretty much. But they never teach you to be creative, to take magnets, put it on keys, and make a product. You know, they never teach you to kind of visualize and dream and be creative, and then to go after that. And it's sad, but you know, I see so many of my friends work in their jobs that, you know, they worked, you know, 4 years in college to become like a CPA, and they're miserable, and it's sad to me, and I don't want that for myself.
Well, that hurts my heart when I see this. That's why I'm trying to educate more people to dig inside, and I think the answers are within us. What we should be doing, not all these experts. They don't know shit. They don't know what they should be doing except getting your money, you know. And so you got to stay away from those suckers, I think, and look inside, because that's the real direction, you know, that we need. But I think the most important thing, this sucker's only $10 you got.
You know, $10 to fix a terrible problem.
Right. Right. That's it. And then how does it work? Show me the magnet one. You got that there?
So here they are. You know?
Yeah, they're all there. Never jiggle, never worry. You could
comparison.
Right. You could sneak up on anyone with that set, right? So you're going to sell a fortune of these things at NSA or somewhere, all the security agencies. Yeah.
Yeah, to the ninjas.
Right, ninja outfit stores. Oh, that's wonderful. Well, you're a delight, Vince. I hope more people are young like you and realizing, look at you. I mean, you go out and look for a job. Heck, you just go on the internet and figure out how to create one yourself, and you got a whole career in front of you. And to find the keys, now everybody, you know, should at least see that video. I think it's a great video. I've looked at a lot of Kickstarter videos, and this is terrific. And so it's Key Magnets, KeyMagnets.com. I spell all the time because I'm a terrible speller. I got 2 New York Times bestsellers, and I still can't spell pretty. So my audience is out there. I know they're like that too. So it's KeyMagnets.com, $10, and you get your little magnets and never have jiggling keys again. Well, thank you so much, Vince, and best of luck to you. And you're going to have fun. Go back and get all those co-eds this weekend down at UCLA. Okay. KeyMagnets.com. Thanks, Vince.
Thank you so much, Matt. Take care.
Okay, here's a guy, an immigrant from Greece who came to this country. And actually, when he got here, he was selling hot dogs. And he said, God, he loved that because he loved talking to people every day or whatever. And he just appreciated the country so much. Yeah. Man, as people are born here and everything, man, we take it for granted and we bitch and moan and things like that. That's why it's fun to watch this guy, you know, in the interview. Because, man, starting out as a hot dog salesman, you know, selling hot dogs on the street, and now he just raised like almost $500,000 in crowdfunding, and it wasn't really just for himself to do things, it was to help other people. Man, a friend of his died swimming, okay, and apparently didn't have a life jacket on or whatever, in a lake, died, and they found the body a couple of days or weeks later. And he said, gosh, people can't die like this. And he looked at that there's 300,000 people a year that die. So he found out a way to make a little bracelet that has a blow-up, safety device in it, like a life raft, all in here. It's not, one of these things that's so big or whatever. It's all right here, and with an aerosol little packet, like you put in the soda machine, and it blows up. So it's no bigger than this. You put it on your waist, so you always have it. So you don't like wearing those vests that are, ugly and they don't have question marks on it or whatever. You don't have to worry. You just put that, and you're safe forever. I mean, it's just a wonderful thing. 300,000 people. So that was his mission. After his friend died, drowning like that, he worked on developing this device. Now, he hasn't gotten like big venture capital and partners and all this kind of stuff and whatever. He just went on the internet. And the internet thought it was so neat. It gave him almost $500,000 to do this, and from all over the world. I mean, imagine that with global warming, how the water's coming up, so all these islands that are living, worried about the water engulfing them and everything. So you want your children to have one of these on them or whatever. I mean, it's amazing how popular this has become just in a few months and on the internet. He wouldn't have known. He wouldn't have known unless he used the internet, used a crowdfunding platform like this to get the word out there. See, that's what's so neat about the internet using this. It's a way to get ideas about what you're trying to do, so people give you a better idea. Or they see it, yes, this is great, so you know that this is a great product before you even make it. He hasn't even made the thing. He just has a sample. And that's what's wonderful. And that's right, but to hear his enthusiasm about what we have here in America is inspiring by itself. He's so grateful for being here, maybe because Greece is in such financial trouble now. But he said, nah, they'll figure out a way out of it. Yeah, whatever. But you see, watch his heart. His heart is talking in everything he does. And what a wonderful way to float through life like that. And that's what we all have to have a little more of, I feel, is what this nice fellow from Greece teaches us about the way to live, to appreciate things, and do things that you think is important, and how important people are in life, and things like that. I mean, instead of, money, 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 oh, we're going to make more money than you, That's like most of us do. Most of us are chasing around money just to impress the other person or whatever, or so other people don't bother you, just weird stuff, that we don't even know why the hell we're doing it half the time, because we're caught in some rat race that we think we have more, and then we need more after that, and more. What the hell are you going to do with all that crap, And here's a guy who realized, boy, if I'm not helping somebody else and helping their lives or whatever, what the hell am I doing here? So that's why he has a lot to teach us. Not only about crowdfunding, he didn't know anything about it before he started it either. So if you don't, learn from him.
Well, Tom Agapadias, is that it? Agapadias. Adi?
Yeah, Agapadias.
Agapadias. But who cares about that? We want to know about Kingii, KINGII.US, because you who grew up water all around you on a Greek island now is going to save everybody's life who lives by water, who's going to go into the water, who's around water or whatever. Man, this little wrist bracelet is a lifesaver, but you know that. And it eliminates having to wear one of those ugly vests, that I never wear one of those because I can't get one with question marks. Yeah. And that's just wonderful that you invented this thing. And you say, sorry?
I said that's why this thing was invented, for people who don't like bulky life jackets, and now they have an option to wear something.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful. And you say, like, there's almost 300 people a year that die, drowning in the water, and we don't have a way to work with that.
Yeah, that's 300,000.
300,000, yeah. 300,000 people. Wow. And you got into this invention really because a good friend of you just died in a lake even. I mean, it wasn't...
Yes, he drowned in a lake one afternoon out of nowhere. He started asking for help, and it just kind of, by the time they got to him, he disappeared under the water.
Wow.
He was found 50 minutes later because the water is murky, and from that moment on, it just, something flashed into my mind that something has to be done. And, you know, when I found out that all these people drowned sensibly, and when I started looking into it, I saw more people and more people and more people.
Wow.
Why did everybody keep drowning? What are we going to do about this? And, you know, there's a lot of great things out there for the water, but apparently people do not use them as much as they should be. And that's why we came up with the Kinji. There's another option. We care about people who want to enter the water, and we care about people coming out of the water. So that's why the Kinji was really developed for people who really didn't have anything with them, getting into it, into the water. And now we want the world to know that there is something if they wish to take something with them. So
but your main work recently has been as an insurance salesman, right? So, I mean, what do you think of now that you put together this idea and put it on crowdfunding, and in 11 days you got almost $500,000 and people wanting it from all over the world, man. You got everybody, you really hit a nerve.
I think it's awesome. I think it's just the most awesome thing that ever happened. We're very excited, very overwhelmed.
Yeah.
We're very, 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 very excited about this. We like the way the world sees it. They see it the way we see it. So everybody has the same understanding in water all around the world. It doesn't matter where you're from, what race you're from, if you understand languages or not. When you enter the water, we all feel the same feelings. Mm-hmm. If I send my son to the lake, I will worry about all the way till the day he gets back, to the moment he gets back. By having a Kinji, I just worry a little less, because you do need things in the water, and when you make a mistake, you usually pay with your life. Right. And that's what happens to most of the younger people, or even older people, you know. Nobody knows. So we like people to feel more secure in the water by wearing the Kinji. The Kinji is something that they can put in their wrist, they can put in their pocket. It doesn't matter where they put it, as long as they take it with them. In time of need, you deploy this little bag, and you swing yourself to safety, or you wave. Somebody will save you.
So it's a flotation device you could hold on to, give you enough to do what you have to do. Yeah, and so it's a little air cylinder you have that blows it up automatically, sort of like the life-saving vest in an airplane. Huh?
Yes, a 10-gram CO2 capsule. Once you deploy the lever, voila, boom! In 2.8 seconds, you have a ball next to you that you will have to manage. There's something to hold you up.
Right.
It to be buoyant. You have something. There's a ball. You use it anywhere you want to use it. It doesn't matter what you do with it in the water, as long as it's with you. I know that people will find a way to use it properly for their situation. Someday you might be dragging out from a riptide. Another time maybe you're tumbled up in the waves. Another time you maybe fall off your boat. I don't know what happens in the water. Anything can happen in the water. As long as that mouth and that face is off the water, then we'll save ourselves. So it will depend on the individual how he uses his instincts in the water.
And you have, but you put a goal. You were hoping to raise $65,000, and wow, you're up to $457,000 in 11 days. Man, that must be breaking all kind of records in the crowdfunding community.
We're ecstatic.
Yeah. And you never did it before, right? So you're not some big expert on 1,800 campaigns. The first, that's wonderful. And so you really, and you said you came to America about 30 years ago, and you say it's pretty cool, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you started out, one of your jobs started out in America was selling American hot dogs, huh?
That's right. I still love them.
Well, that's what I always thought. I said, boy, when I got my MBA, I said, boy, I'll start a business, anything. I'd go down on the mall and sell hot dogs. I don't care. I just want to start a business. Yeah. So I could relate to that. Whether you come from Greece with $10 in your pocket, or you come with, like me, with an MBA, still selling hot dogs is an honorable work.
I think it is. I think I've learned more selling hot dogs to people in lines than anywhere else in my...
But now you learned how to make $500,000 in 11 days.
Thank all the people, all the support for that. All the organizations, the success, and everybody else who thinks about Kinsey, we're really thanking them. I mean,
well, that's wonderful. More importantly, but your passion was having a device that would help other people, and I think without that, without that coming from your heart, that you really wanted to do this, you wouldn't be able to get through all the problems or whatever that comes up in trying to do this thing.
That is true. That is very true.
So you start with your heart.
Yes, it has to be, your heart and your head have to go together.
Right.
You can't just...
But sometimes I think your heart's smarter than your head.
I've learned to trust it because when you put them together, the heart always wins.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm glad your heart is in here, and it's in America, and it's solving problems for the whole world from out in Northern California. And the way to see the video, I think the video is terrific that you did. Everything on this crowdfunding site is wonderful. And if people go to Kingii, KINGII.US, so that's not .com, but .us, KINGII. And where did that name come from? Your name?
The name Kinsey came from a freight lizard that lives in Southeast Asia. It's one of those lizards, a freight lizard. Once it gets scared, it kind of puts out this little poofy thing around his head, the wings.
I see.
Bigger.
Oh, I see. That's you. So you got this.
It kind of blows up. That's what the Kinsey is.
I see.
And his name, our lizard name, it's Kinsey George. And what George is a water advocate, just like Smokey Bear. Smokey Bear talks to bears. We're talking about water safety.
Wonderful. Well, your heart's in the right place, and you're helping people, and people should know about this for loved ones or anybody. KINGII, Kingii.us. Thank you so much, Tom. Glad to have you in the world solving problems for us.
Well, thank you to the world. Thank you to everybody. Thank you.
Take care.
All right.
You know what I believe? That fun is the best way to increase your chance of success than anything else you do in life. We got all these self-help books or whatever. Do this, do that, find your passion. No, it's fun. And take it from a guy who 15 years ago started wearing question mark suits and made millions of dollars walking around in these things every day. But that's the key to life. And I just did a TED Talk that talks about this. So man, before you make another decision about what you're going to do in life, watch this TED Talk. It's free, and also you have fun watching it.